Greetings, everybody. Welcome back. No face cam for this, for those who watch my main channel, where I have my face on. Not having my face on the James Early Retro channel, at least not yet. And for those watching this on live or on the playback, why am I doing a live stream of this series? Oh no, it was always videos, now it's live streams. It's purely because I feel like it. I sort of do what I feel like in the moments. And right now I want to do live streams. So that's what we're doing. Parrot is watching at his workplace right now, is getting paid to watch me. That is, I think that's good. Wasting corporate time. Yeah, I think that's a positive thing. They used to post Codemasters used to post the music of their F1 games somewhere on a forum post. Interesting. Good thing about the Codemasters music for a lot of those old F1 games is they're not copyright striked material, so I could play them in the streams and it's all good. Anyway, we're going to have today the French Grand Prix of 1989, excluding the pre-qualifying. Pre-qualifying has already been done and dusted, and we're first going to look at the results of the pre-qualifying session, where Brundle and Modern atop the session, both Brabhams as quick as they often are during these qualifying sessions or pre-qualifying sessions. Franz Bernbach, well, he's still injured. He's still out for I don't know how many races. Quite a few races he's going to be out for. We know that. Bertrand Gachot, Stefan Johansson, both Onyx drivers getting through. Alex Caffey in 5th place for Dallara, but his teammate Andrea De Cesaris nowhere near the top. So we have Larini in 6th for Osella. Then it's Dana, Schneider, Weidler and Heinrich Krings. So both Zaxby's in the top 10. Both Rios in the top 10. And depending on how slow Dallara's second driver is, Andrea De Cesaris, determines whether Dallara are actually on the main qualifying grid today. Moreno 11th ahead of Winkelhock, Raffinel, Andrea De Cesaris down in 14th place. I think this means Dallara are not going to be in the top 3 fastest teams. Gabriel Tarquini, Wojtek and Ginzani, the final 3 there. And let's have a look at what it means for the average time between the 2 drivers in each team. It means that Brabham top the session, Onyx second, and Rial make it on to the main qualifying grid. So that's what we're going to see today. It means Zaxby just miss out. Dallara also miss out. Coloni, Osella, AGS, and Eurobrun also missing out there. Now we can head on to the qualifying sessions. We may as well watch both qualifying sessions, honestly. I usually only watch one, but we can do both today. This should be a smooth transition over. I hope. This is practice. Let me just skip practice. Leave practice. We go on to the Friday qualifying session. Everything is already set up in the game. That's good. You ended up finding them on... I've never heard of that. Is that a website? Quobuz. I've never heard of that. Volker Weidler is in, but only to qualify. Well, maybe Weidler will make it onto the grid. We'll see. We'll see. Right, starts here in qualifying. Let's move forward a few seconds so we can get a driver out on track. Okay, we have drivers out on track. That's good. This is the view we'll go with today, so we can see everybody. This is the view I have usually when I'm recording the videos as well. Can you guys confirm whether you can hear me and the game? It should be playing both audio tracks right now. Good, good. Why does Paul Ricard suck so much? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Paul Ricard. I feel like this layout is slightly better than the modern layout, but still not great. Anyway, we'll go through the news of the week then, shall we? On to the news. The Canadian Grand Prix saw René Arnoux fail to qualify for the first time this season, amidst rumours that he was considering retirement. Well, no need for rumours anymore, as the Frenchman has announced here ahead of the French Grand Prix that this will be his final season in Formula 1. Some pressure is on at the bottom half of the table now, as there is about to be a shake-up in which teams are selected to pre-qualify. After round 8 of the year, the bottom 9 teams in the Constructors' standings will be selected for pre-qualifying sessions. One team that is definitely not in danger of pre-qualifying is Williams. The Grove outfitter nestled at the top of the table after taking the lead away from Ferrari in Canada. The Senator Williams rumours have died down somewhat, with the Brazilian claiming he is happy at McLaren, though the rumour mill continues to work away, indicating Senna and Ferrari are in preliminary talks. Williams themselves say they are happy with their current lineup, which further dispels the rumours, though silly season is just getting started. It's become apparent that Alessandro Nannini's seat is in danger. The Italian has been woeful so far this year, and Benetton are looking for a change. On to upgrades. McLaren and Williams both bring upgrades to help their qualifying pace, whilst Ferrari have further improved their reliability. We also see Benetton and March bringing a few updates, with March focused on saving weight on their car. Brabham have further tuned their car for qualifying pace with a revised front and rear wing design, and Zaxbyt continued their upgrade spree, saving 3 kilos of weight on their car. It wasn't enough for Zaxbyt to make it through pre-qualifying though, so kind of a pointless upgrade it seems. Not really made much of a change. As we see the first lap times coming in now, Warwick right now topping the session. Oh, never mind. Nelson Piquet to the top. Quickly beaten by Johnny Herbert, so they're coming in thick and fast right now. Paul Ricard has 167 layout. What is the point? I get it's a testing venue mostly, isn't it? So I suppose that explains it. Herbert at the top right now. Prost now to the top. Home Grand Prix, of course, for Alan Prost. And he's gone 1.5 seconds ahead of his nearest challenger. The way Grand Prix 2 works is half of the qualifying session is one half of the grids. Usually one car from each team. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's both cars from each team. And then the second half of qualifying will be the second half of the grid. So the other 14 drivers. So now everybody's pretty much done their fastest laps. We have to wait for the second half of the grid to come round. This isn't news to you as you're looking at the database on OneDrive. Yeah, I've got to be careful with that because sometimes I edit the database weeks in advance. So anybody actually just looking at my Excel databases, which are available in the Discord if you're wondering, you can sort of get spoilt results. Prost now held up by a Real on his next lap. He's still sticking at it though. He's going to go across the line. He's not going to improve. And he makes his way past, I think it's Christian Danner. The two Reals are the slowest right now. That is Christian Danner. And they are miles off. A 106.4 from Danner. 6/10 or so behind Gugelmin. I probably excel at databases now by now. I'm getting better. Not so much with the formula sort of stuff, but layout and stuff, I think I'm doing pretty well. Why does GP2 do that for quali? It's because of the amount of space in the pit lane. Like, every car is stationed in their pit box rather than their garage. So you can only fit 14 cars down there. So at some point in the session, their cars disappear and the other ones come in. Like 5 people look at the database per season, if that, so it's fine, yeah. But I did it with the F1 2008 modded season on the main channel. The results were there for the final 5 races about a week and a half before those 5 races were posted on YouTube. Prost, Boutsen have gone into the pit. So Boutsen up to second. We missed that. 4/10 behind Prost. Boutsen, he did race under a French license for a while, didn't he? And then he switched to a Belgian license, as far as I'm aware. Somebody can surely confirm that in the comments, or the chat, shall I say. Hold on, I'm just going to have to pause the game a second. Oh, no, it's minimised the game instead. Just getting my Excel document up so I can see the standings. There isn't a timer on the screen during a qualifying session, unfortunately, so there's not really any way of knowing how much time is left unless we ride on board with somebody in the pits. We have 13 minutes left. 3 cars out there. We'll simulate a couple minutes and get the other cars out on track. Alright, cool. Some of them out there now. Senna is one of the drivers out there, so he'll be chasing Prost's pole position. We heard in the news section McLaren do have upgrades today. What button is it to fast forward? You right click, accelerate time, then you click that, and then click stop if you want. To bring it back to normal. Very useful. I would prefer it to appear, this little thing at the top appear down here, out of the way of the screen. I'd prefer that, but Beggars can't be choosers. But Hadra's done a brilliant job, of course. Fantastic. The game being very much playable on modern systems is fantastic. We've got Eric Bernard. Philippe Alliot might be on a lap now, I think. Sometimes hard to figure out who's actually on a lap and who's not. Bertrand Gachot definitely on one. Gerhard Berger has gone third, so I think he was one of the first drivers in the second batch to set a time. That's a whole second off Prost. Not great. Maybe he was stuck behind the Onyx on his first lap. I could explain that. Stefan Johansson across the line. He is starting a lap. Okay. Nigel Mansell is starting a lap. Gerhard Berger is on another lap here. It's an improvement, and across the line he goes. He's starting a lap. Okay. See how confusing it can be, even with the sector times down here. So Bertrand Gachot's gone up to 14th with a 106.2. Eric Bernard Larousse, not very fast. He's gone 17th. Out of, what's that? Out of 20 so far. Let's see what Ayrton Senna's got in the bag. Ayrton Senna across the line is pole position by half a second. That was nice and easy. He only needed one run. Yeah, GP Laps was making a force feedback mod for the game. I've heard rave reviews about it. Who's that across the line? That is both Ligiers battling away in qualifying. This is not what Ligier want. I know René Arnoux announced his retirement. Or maybe he just doesn't care anymore. It's his final French Grand Prix. Olivier Grillard's first French Grand Prix. So they've both got a lot to play for here. Gachot's gone to 20th with that one. Jean Alesi, 9th place in the Tyrrell. Alesi, he started the season very strongly, but the past 3 rounds he's not scored any points. So it's not looking as rosy as it was early season for Alesi. The top 3 in the pits now. Berger, like I said, he's 1.5 seconds off. His teammate is 1.8 seconds off. Very, very slow. Luis Perez Sala could be on a lap here. Oh no, saying that is his lap. He's 25th place. I think everybody's set a time now. Bernard and Weidler in the drop zone right now. So everybody else make it onto the grid, including Weidler's teammate Christian Danner up in 22nd place. That's not bad. But there is 2 qualifying sessions. This is the first one. Now everybody's got a lap time on the board. Nobody's going to really improve. So we're going to skip to the end of this session. We'll jump into the second qualifying session. Who am I rooting for today? I want somebody new to score points. Maybe Martin Brundle getting a point for Brabham. That'd be nice. No problem, KO. Nigel Mansell is improved on his time. He's ahead of his teammate Berger. Now they're all boxing. Okay, yeah, let's just skip to the end of this session now. Drivers will continue to set times, but they're not really going to improve unless they were caught in traffic on their main lap. Or we'll just see the results at the end of the session. There we go. So, session 1 complete. Senna and Prost topping the times. The only drivers to get into the 102s. Pretty extreme. Boutsen in 3rd, Mansell 4th. They're quite closely matched. So is Patrese and Berger. Derek Warwick is 7th. Where's Martin Brundle? 13th place. So Brundle not looking overly sharp today. And right now, Bernard and Weidler down in the drop zone. Only the top 26 make it onto the grid. So we'll probably quickly sim through session 2, see if there's any changes in that order. I don't find qualifying too enticing when there's 2 sessions. It's harder to follow. Because sure, we watched that first session for a bit, but those times might mean nothing compared to the second qualifying session. But you won't know how they compare until we see the end results. So that's why I'm sort of simulating it through. Well, it looks like a very sunny session here, but we're gonna get on our bike and start simulating. I don't want to just skip to the end of the session, though. We'll see what the standings are halfway through and see what it looks like. About now. Just to see. So Senna is a 102.7. It's not better than what he set in the first session. I think they were slightly slower here in the hotter conditions by a couple tenths. Prost is also a couple tenths slower. Boots and then Mansell, Patrese, PK. PK up in 6th of 104.6. I don't think that's better than what he did earlier. So yeah, we'll get to the end of this session and get onto the race. We've got the Mexico filter, yeah. We've got the F1 2010 filter. I quite like it. It's very, very nice and bright. Qualifying over when it has 50... Oh, gosh, nice. There we go. So these are, like I said, look, everybody going slower in the second session compared to the first, apart from maybe one or two drivers. So we're going to have Senna on pole, Prost second. We'll do the full run through in a second. But if you guys want to pause and read the numbers, you can do. Mansell improved by half a tenth. Martin Donnelly actually did get a decent improvement, 3.5 tenths. So he's moved up a couple places from that, I think. No, actually he hasn't. He was already in that position. René Arnoux going faster by a tenth. But Bernard and Weidler out. So Arnoux makes it onto the grid for his final French Grand Prix. Grilod's going to have his first French Grand Prix. Alio, his French Grand Prix as well, home Grand Prix. Christian Danner on the grid in 22nd place. But Volker Weidler, yeah, he's not making it. He's missed out by 7 tenths there. Good morning, Chris. Nice to see you. We're about to get into a race. Let's do a little save game. I've already done France, by the way. When I was already doing videos, I recorded about 2 weeks ago. Can't remember what happened. I didn't edit the video, though, so that's why I'm doing it again. France stream. Name too long. Okay, bro. France SM. Is that better? Yeah. And we go to the race. So we have Senna and Prost on the front row of the grid. It's a McLaren all McLaren front row. Senna, though, getting one over on his teammate Prost at Prost's home Grand Prix. Remember, who leads the championship right now? Riccardo Patrese leads the championship. Actually, give me 1 second. Need to change something on my... where are we? There's custom sort. There we go. I had to just change something on my Excel document. So Patrese leads the championship. Senna right now down in 4th place, 1 point behind his teammate Prost, who's in 3rd. So very close here. Boutsen in 3rd place alongside Nigel Mansell. Then we have Williams and Ferrari on the row 3 as well, with Patrese ahead of Gerhard Berger. Riccardo Patrese is the championship leader. You have no idea what you're watching, but you're having a great time. That's good, Drewski. That's good. We have Derek Warwick and Johnny Herbert, an all-British 4th row of the grid. All of these drivers down here will be gunning for some points. Providing some of the top teams do drop out the race. We know Benetton have such a strong race car compared to their qualifying car. They have one of the best race-worthy cars on the grid, I'd say. Maybe only bettered by Williams and McLaren. If I had to hazard a guess. I don't need to hazard a guess. I know the ins and outs of things. But I don't know, realism's sake, we'll say, I'm not sure. Maybe Benetton have a great car. They do have a great car. So Herbert will be aiming for some points today. He's scored points in all but one race this season, so he's had a great start to his career. PK and Alazy on row 5. And like I said just earlier, Alazy struggling in the past 3 races. But he'll be looking to get back inside the points today. Alessandro Nannini, whose seat is under huge pressure at Benetton. He starts in 11th place alongside Jonathan Palmer. Martin Brundle, who had his first retirement of the season last time out at the Canadian Grand Prix. Brundle with points not on his name yet, or not on the board yet. Brabham yet to score this season. They'll be hoping for some good luck coming their way this afternoon. Ivan Capelli in 14th place, followed by Martin Donnelly and Pierluigi Martini. Stefano Modena in the 2nd, Brabham in 17th place. And then we have Eddie Cheever in 18th. Gugelmin and Johansson rounding out the top 20. Gasho setting up from 21st. Christian Danner in 22nd place. Has Danner made a start this year? He's had one race this year, which was Mexico. He finished in 14th place. So this is his second start of the year. He's ahead of Alio, Arnoux, Perisala and Grillard. A lot of French drivers on the grid. A lot of them near the back of the grid as well. We'll be seeing Arnoux in his final ever home Grand Prix. Can he deliver for his home crowd and get some miracle result for Ligier, which will help them in their battle to fend off the pre-qualifying places? Well, let's find out. Oh, there we go. Actually, we'll watch the start battle first. So we'll turn off the GP2 director. We're about to get 81 laps of racing underway here at a very sunny Le Castellet, Paul Ricard, France. And we're underway here. Senna from pole position getting a great start. We can see Mansell in the background there already pulling side by side with Prost on the run down to turn 1. And he might actually challenge Ayrton Senna into the first corner. Under braking goes Mansell. And he takes the lead of the race. Prost fighting his way through on the inside of his teammate Senna. Can he pull that one off as they head onto the Mistral straight for the first time? Slipstream is going to be a big factor at this Grand Prix. A long back straight. And the two McLarens are side by side with... Oh, that's Thierry Boutsen looking to make it 3 wide. Here, the Williams driver could displace the McLarens into the end of what would you call that corner? I don't know, turn 4 maybe? They're still side by side, Senna and Prost. They just can't sort themselves out. It's giving Mansell a huge advantage. Eventually, Senna fends off his teammate. So Prost in 3rd place, Boutsen 4th, followed by Berger and Johnny Herbert up inside the points. He's moved past Riccardo Patrese. So good start there for Johnny Herbert, who, like I said, has scored a top 6 result in 5 out of the first 6 Grand Prix. Nobody's retired on this opening lap, and now I'm going to put it on race director mode. So it'll do the automatic race director feature, which is, for the most part, pretty good. It does miss out on a few things, though. So that is lap 1 complete. Will it also have it on gap to leader for now? As that's a move there from somebody on Ivan Capelli. I think that's Nannini on the inside of Capelli. So Nannini... Oh, there's contact there. Gugelmin colliding with one of the Minardis. I think he got sent into the first corner. Didn't Gugelmin have that huge accident in real life at this track? As up ahead with Donnelly challenging the Minardi. Is the director going to show us that battle? Or is it just going to continue showing us Gugelmin? This is what I mean. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not great. So it does miss out on battles. But Donnelly has moved past the Minardi. As Senna now closing in on Mansell for the lead of the race. Ligier is blowing up lap 37. Alright. That is a prediction. Bold prediction. It could well happen. Yeah, Mansell's lead already cut down to 5/10. He had a great start, but I don't think Mansell has the pace here for the victory. Not on pure pace, at least. As Prost challenging Senna into turn 1. And he does back out the move. Otherwise, that would have been a collision between the two McLarens. That's not what Ron Dennis wants at this stage of the season. Especially after their reliability woes so far this year. Down the Mistral straight we go again. You can see the slipstream effect. The Ferrari and the McLaren becoming closer together. As Nannini now challenging Nelson Piquet. And that's for 9th position. I did say Benetton have such a strong race car. And Nannini proving it here. He started down in 11th place. He's now up to 9th position. As the battle for the lead is heating up. Prost is desperate to win in front of his home crowd. Alan Prost hasn't won since the opening round of the year. And he's all over the back of his teammate Senna, who in turn is all over the back of Nigel Mansell as we start lap number 4. 2/10 is the gap between the top two. And that's Senna shaping up for a move up the inside. Has he gone for it? He has! Senna takes the lead of the race. Mansell gives in to that overtake and moves down to 2nd position. Not really fighting it too hard. Thanks, race director, for that terrible camera angle. There's Boutsen now challenging Alain Prost. Oh, Prost wasn't expecting that one, was he? And they're still trying to sort themselves out. That's giving Mansell a little bit of a buffer. Sorry, Adrian. I do choose the time. I just stream when I can stream, you know. I've never really done an early morning stream, so this is new for me. A different vibe. Johnny Herbert in 5th place now. He's made it past Gerhard Berger. So the Benetton is looking good for Benetton. 5th and 8th place now as Nannini makes it through on Derek Warwick. So we could see both Benettons fighting for points. Like I said, going into this round in the news section, Alessandro Nannini's seat under huge pressure for his poor performances in relation to his teammate Johnny Herbert. So Nannini needs to pull something out of the bag here. Senna already a second clear of Mansell. So it looks like it could be Senna's to lose from this point onwards. As Nelson Piquet now trying to put a move on Derek Warwick. And they go side by side through that corner at the end of the Mistral Straight. The AI, when they're on the inside of that corner, they hardly ever actually go for a move. They sort of go side by side, then back out. Rooting for a Boutsen win. Yeah. He's yet to win this year. He's had 3 podiums. Johnny Herbert, I think, is a star of the future in this career mode. And I'm not complaining. I like to see things different from real life, but not totally unrealistic. Like, it's not out of the question that if things went right for Herbert and he didn't have that injury to his ankle, was it? I think he could have done better. As Prost moves past Mansell, so Mansell's reign at the top has definitely ended now. And it is a McLaren 1-2. McLaren have not actually... That was quite funny. We've not had a race this season where both McLarens have finished the race. It's either one or the other. And in Mexico's case, it was both of them retiring. Let's see if that duck is that, what would you call it? A duck is broken today. Piquet's still stuck behind Warwick. Yeah, Herbert never had his crash in this one. Let's go with that. When was his crash in real life? Was it in Formula 3 or was it in F1? Oh, and that's Philippe Alliot. A first retirement of the day, and it's a French driver, and it's a French car. I don't think that silence that you can hear is a good sign. I think the home crowd is disapproving of that. It was F3000 the year before. Ah, okay. Transfer rumours this weekend is Williams are happy with their lineup. Senna says he's happy at McLaren. Yet we've heard talks that he's in preliminary talks. We've heard rumours he's in preliminary talks with Ferrari. Why am I not taking part in the race? Parrot, our driver Franz Bernbach is injured. Did he have a double leg break? I think he had a double leg break, or one leg broken at least. So he's out for many, many months. For how many years? No, he's only out for maybe about 8 months. Or around about that time, 7 or 8 months. So he might be back before the end of the season. You're about to say Carl Wendlinger instead of Bernbach. It's Martini challenging Modena. The lowly positions. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid here right now. So Alesi down to 13th. He's not made a great start. Brundle, not a great start either. Boutsen now up to 3rd. So Mansell down to 4th place. So Boutsen inside the podium places. We still have 25 drivers running. Christian down as 25th, so he's fallen off. He's last. Yeah, I'm not willing. Parrot, I'll be honest, I much prefer watching than racing myself. I can really get immersed into the universe if I'm just watching. As Gasha up the inside there of Martini, I want to say. No, Perez Sala. Nice one. We're only spectators for at least the next 6 races. Bernbach might be back at round 14. Capelli's still trying to fight his way through on Stefano Modena. Still can't pull off the move. That's 2 Italians going wheel to wheel. They have a 3rd Italian in tow with Martini, which would be Estoril, I believe. Yes. I don't have it up on my 3rd monitor right now, so I won't be able to tell you. Also, watching the race allows me to get into commentary mode a bit better. There's a huge train of cars there from, who's that? Derek Warwick in 9th place all the way down to Martin Brundle in 14th. They're all stuck behind Warwick, including his teammate Eddie Cheever, so that's not helping Arrows out. Nannini now up to 7th as well, as that is PK once again challenging Warwick and once again not being able to pull off the move. You'll see what I mean now, that the AI just can't really pull off those moves. We did see Cheever challenging PK in the background, but we're not going to see that now because thanks to our beautiful race director cutting away from the action. Top 6 score points in 89. So in the it'll be 9 points for a win, 6 points for second place, and it's 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point for the top 6. AI always have their flaws. Some tracks work better than others. Like at least with GP2, cars do overtake each other. Most often into turn 1. Ultimate simulation of open wheel racing from 1990 onwards. Gonna have F3000, Formula 3, Formula E, excuse me, in 1990. Are you sure? When it comes around, you'd be waiting a while. Was it 2014-15 was the first Formula E season? How do we all feel about Formula E after it's been around for 10 years? It's a whole decade. You're putting that in Formula 1 terms of the Formula 1 World Championship. We're around 1960 right now. Like, it's still in its early days. Still not watching it. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's the dogs, if you ask me. It could be ran so much better. I think it's got potential. I think it's definitely got like a driver lineup that is enticing. You know, you've got a mixture of really talented drivers from the world of prototype racing, or ex-Formula 1 drivers, or IndyCar drivers coming across, or youth drivers who have not quite made it, as we saw Benetton overtaking a Ferrari. That was Nannini going past Berger. Nannini into 6th position. Herbert 5th. Both Benettons in the points. And they've got a lot of interest from various manufacturers making cars and running teams. They have everything they need for it to be good and successful. I don't mind that it's electric. I'd rather... Oh, that's Parisella off and out. Not sure what happened there. It's a puncture for Parisella. Yeah, Dan ticked him as a driver there, yeah. I just don't like some of the gimmicks in it. I'm guessing they got rid of the fan boost now. Surely that's not a thing anymore. I don't like the way the boost works. I don't like their insistence on the types of tracks they run and the fact that the energy is so limited they have to change circuits like Mexico for heavy braking zones. That's a massive limitation. If they fixed all of that stuff and brought in proper pit stops for maybe tyres, I think it'd be much better. But then are you just making it the same as any other series? Yeah, attack mode, that's the one. Attack mode. We've got to get 3 minutes of attack mode here, guys. Thierry Boutsen's looking for attack mode down the main straight. Tell you what, Senna and Prost getting closer and closer. It's only 1.5 between them, and they're about to encounter first bit of traffic with Christian Danner. Call you a purist. I call you Drewski. But I understand that. I understand. I think I was more like that in the past. Now, so I'm not so... I don't mean it like narrow-minded. I feel like I'm just more open to different series now. As that's Modena battling away with Gugelmin, and he's made up that position. Modena was under huge pressure from Gugelmin's teammate for a while. I think he's starting to improve now as the McLarens make it through on Christian Danner. I don't think Prost is very happy because Prost did lose about half a second from that. And he'll be complaining to the team over the radio. I'm sure we won't hear it because Team radios weren't transmitted back here, but I'm sure he was angry as Thierry Boutsen makes short work of Christine Danner. You just missed V10s. That's completely fair. Me too. I do think engine sound has a big impact on the experience and watching and listening. Sound for me is almost as important as visuals in a lot of things. When it comes to movies and immersion at least, sound is a very important thing for me. Not to the same extent in Formula 1 or motorsport, but it's still a big impact. 2026 is going to be an interesting year for Formula 1. Really not sure what to expect. PK's still stuck behind Warwick. Still can't get through. He just doesn't have that grunt down the back straight. So the gap between Senna and Prost has gone up a little bit now. It's 1.9. Johansson there on the inside of... That'll be Martini, I'm sure. Don't get this wrong again, James. Yeah, it is. That's for 19th place. Oh, Johansson's got that unlucky record of retiring in all 6 of the first 6 races. So he's not actually finished a race yet, even though he's qualified for every single one. I imagine he's on the breaking point. He might just leave mid-season. Honestly, if I was him, I think I'd just give up if I'm retiring from every race. Is it really worth it? Johansson's been there, done that already. He's driven for the likes of Ferrari and Ligier. Who else has he driven for? Onyx, of course. That's Grillo getting lapped by the race leader. He's won races. He's had his time in the sun. He's driven for McLaren as well, okay. And Scuderia Italia. The mighty Dallara. Oh, this was Scuderia Italia. I don't know why I always called him Dallara. I might start calling Brabham Motor Racing Developments from now on. So Johansson, if he left mid-season, I feel like he'd just leave Formula 1 altogether. Maybe go over to kart. Because if I'm Johansson, I'm thinking, right, I've been there, done that. I've been at the top, been at the very top. I've won races with the greatest team in Formula 1, Ferrari. And now I'm here in Onyx, not finishing a single race. What am I doing here? I've had my time. I might as well just quit. Johansson never won. Did he not? Why am I thinking he won multiple races? Maybe I'm thinking of podiums. He definitely got podiums, didn't he? Like, quite a few podiums. Damn, I wish I could run this game in windowed full screen borderless. Or windowed borderless. So I could go onto the internet and search these things. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I need to make a plea to Hatcher to work out a way to run it in windowed borderless. Here's a consistent podium score. Okay, right. So I changed my original statement to he had a lot of podiums and he's been there with the big teams in the 80s. And now we're at the end of the decade. He's struggling in a team that might not have any hope of doing anything in the near future. He's had a terrible start to the year, and it's not looking like it's going to get any better, and he might just leave to endurance racing, or somewhere in North America, or something along those lines. That's what I'm thinking if I'm Johansson. So maybe, I say if he retires today, he might call it quits. We might do a 50-50 roll for it, to see if he retires. Tell you what, Lotus are rubbish this year. PK's dragging that dog of a car to 3 back-to-back points finishes in the past 3 races. But aside from that, they've been pretty abhorrent. His results are retirement, 7th, 4th, 6th, 5th. But that's That's Nelson Piquet. He's the 3-time world champion. So, what about his teammate? Well, if we look at Nakajima at least, what did Nakajima do? Oh, Prost making a mistake there. That's going to lose him a bit of time. But he's okay to carry on at least. So Nakajima had 11th, 9th, then a retirement. And Donnelly came in and 7th retirement. Not quite the Lotus we knew from previous years. 87 and earlier as Brundle has stopped. Is that... Oh, that's going to be a retirement for Brundle. Damn it. He was my pick for points today. That's not going to happen. That's a shame. A transmission issue for my ex-teammate. Wait, he's still my teammate, I suppose. Or if you believe the rumours, I'm already out the team, Burnback. And Modern is in for the rest of the season. Yeah, maybe he'd stick. Well, that's why it'll be a 50-50 coin toss, really. Maybe he'll stay, maybe he won't. Hi, Jeffrey. Good morning. I'd like to see Christian Danner reach the finish line today. Get something good going for Real. I'm surprised they even made the grid because they've not had any upgrades lately. Zach Speed have been the team with upgrades in the past 2 races. PK, still stuck behind. Must be so frustrating for him. He had 3 DMPQs, 2 straight retirements and a disqualification. Yeah, no, that's fair. Although I don't want to keep it as... I'm not saying real life was stagnant, but I don't want to do the same as real life, basically. I want to mix it up a little bit so we can create different storylines. Did I die or is it just spectating? Yeah, round 4 of the season we had a massive crash. Leg break. Basically out for almost the entirety of the rest of the season. Senna, Prost, Boots, and they're all working their way through some thick traffic right now. That'll be the story of the rest of their race now. As we're about a quarter of a race distance through. This is a role play, yeah. Yeah. I like role playing. Not in a weird way. In a I am Franz Burnbach, a German Formula 1 driver way. There's channels out there that do it like this. It's mainly on older games. Like F1 Challenge or Grand Prix 2 or Grand Prix 4 or Grand Prix 3 or whatever the first one was called. What was the first one? F1 World Grand Prix or something like that. If I enjoy watching the races that much, maybe Burnback would never come back. If that's the case, then I might do the Streamline series in this universe. I could add Streamline onto the grid in maybe 1990 or 91. And then it's essentially a manager career mode. Burnback goes on to make a team. Or you could join up. I saw one comment on the previous episode saying that Zach Speed would be interested in bringing Burnback in as a driver, which could make sense. Zach Speed being a German team, Burnback with German backing. That could work out. I feel like Germany is just dying for a F1 superstar that they're yet to have. You know, we don't know much about Michael Schumacher right now. Schumacher's doing his bit in... Already been right now. I think German Formula 3 right now. In 1989. and racing a bit in sports cars, I want to say. I'm guessing he did multiple series in 1989. But yeah, he's still a couple years at least away from Formula 1, so the German public, who do they have to cheer for right now in Formula 1? Bernd Schneider. Heinrich Krings, who is a made-up driver. Admittedly, maybe the only made-up driver apart from Franz Bernbeck we'll have in this career mode. Ayrton Senna do Brasil. And PK's trying it again. This time, can he? No. You may as well just crash him out the race, PK. Go on, Nelson. Eddie Shivers, he's already half gone from the championship anyway, so he doesn't care if he retires. One off DTM start, yeah. Alexis Core on YouTube did a video about that. DTM start, I think. Unless he had another start in 1990, or a few more races in DTM. Maybe it was about that one. Oh my gosh, Alexis, hello. Yeah, just talking about Michael Schumacher in DTM. Did you just join, or were you already here? Because that was quite scary if you've just joined and that's the first thing you heard. I did a couple more DTM races in 1991. Okay. I think that was an actual overtake there. PK and Shiva. No, they still remain 10th and 11th, or 11th and 10th. Oh, you've been here for now. Okay, that's fine. That would have been really creepy if you just turned up and I just mentioned you. Reliability's been solid so far today. Only 2 retirements. I'm wanting to see some of the top drivers fall out. Maybe McLaren or Ferrari or Williams. Bring in some of the Benettons into the points. Ideally, I'd like to see a team who's not scored a point get a point. So we're talking about teams like Brabham or March, Onyx, Minardi. But we would need a whole host of retirements for that to happen. So that's Mansell putting a lap on one of the Ligiers, it looks like. So how's Arnoux doing in his final race? His final home Grand Prix. We have René Arnoux down in 20th place, ahead of Gachot, Grillard, Dana. Bertrand Gachot, he's Belgian, isn't he? Or is he one of those that represented France and then Belgium for a different period of time? One of them did. Who is it? Boutsen, I think. Represented both Belgium and France. Or maybe it was Gachot. I get confused. I get mixed up. Oh, wow. What a traffic jam down there. Thanks to Christy and Dana, it's brought the two Tyrrells very close together. And that is the fight for... What's that? 12th place. Yeah, Palmer ahead of a lazy, surprisingly. And they're all getting lapped by Senna, the race leader. So Dana falling 2 laps down as Thierry Boutsen into the pits from 3rd place. So that's going to be a 2-stop strategy for the Williams today. And he'll rejoin, I imagine, in about 7th place in this race. Maybe quite close to his teammate Patrese. That's politics for you. That's F1 politics for you, Fennec. There's been a few injustices like that. Like the better driver being kicked out for whatever. It will be money or political reasons, sponsorship reasons. I think Prost will be very frustrated with this traffic. It's not really helping him. There's always 1 or 2 cars between the 2 McLarens. So he can't get a good run at his teammate. I think if the McLarens are to switch positions, it's either a mechanical problem, a crash, or through the pit stops. I don't think it's going to be decided on track. As Boutsen rejoins 5th. It's better than I thought it'd be. Means Johnny Herbert's up to 4th place for now. Williams felt like Patrese was the better number 2 driver. Well, that is... I'd say that's a political reason then. F1 politics, at least. They're looking for the better number 2 driver. To Nigel Mansell, I'm guessing. Kimi losing his seat for 2010 is probably one of the best examples of that. Yeah, I mean, he won a race in 2009. He outperformed Massa, he outperformed Badauer, he outperformed Fisichella. Obviously, you're going to outperform those 2. But Fernando Alonso coming into the team, they need to make room for him. So they kick out a world champion and bring in a 2-time world champion. Though I would say Alonso at Ferrari just feels right. Oh, that's Danner out. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping to see the Real get a good result today. That's the one and only Real starting the race out of the race. It's an engine problem for Danner. So that is his 2nd start and 1st retirement of the season. Unfortunately for Real. I was thinking a Real good result today might bring them above a few of the other backmarket teams. Could bring them out of the pre-qualifying series of teams. But that's not going to happen now. Patrese an interesting one. What would you compare Patrese to for a modern F1 driver? Would you say Patrese is like a Perez? Or like a Bottas maybe? Like a driver who can definitely win races. I'd say more Perez. Not that I've watched much footage from back then, but just looking at results. Purely basing it on a Wikipedia page or Stats F1. I'd say Riccardo Patrese is, sort of like a Perez figure. In the right car and even the wrong car can get good results. Be a solid 2nd driver to a world champion teammate. A load of action in the pits. Prost into the pits. We had Mansell into the pits as well on the previous lap. As that's Gugelmin. Is he slowing down? He is. Maurizio Gugelmin now retiring. Slightly less concerning than his real life crash at this track. Was it Gugelmin? If anybody can confirm in the chat. The huge crash at the start of the race. Was it Gugelmin or Capelli? I think it was Gugelmin. I have a 50-50 shot at getting that right. There's a Gasho there putting a move on the Ligier of Drillard. Capelli making a mistake. So Senna now in the pits. Prost pit on the previous lap. We can see it on the mini-map here. He's in the pits. Nelson Piquet also in. Almost a lap down though. Prost in traffic though. I think Senna's going to be well clear of his teammate here on the rejoin. Down the main straight we go. We're on board with Johnny Herbert, who's coming into the pits, is he? Why are you showing me a driver coming into the pits? Yeah. Senna out ahead of Prost by about 3 seconds. Similar to what it was before. It means Boutsen's back up to 3rd with Herbert in the pits. Nannini stays out, so he's up to 4th place. All the drivers pitting now, I'd still say, are on a 2-stop. I think it's still too early for a 1-stop strategy to work. What year is the Gugelmin thing I'm talking about? 1989 French Grand Prix started the race. There was a march that went flying into turn 1, like barrel roll, huge crash. I think they broke their leg, whoever it was. It was either Gugelmin or Capelli. If you Google 1989 French Grand Prix and look on Google Images, most of the pictures is that crash. Eddie Cheever in the pits. Is PK going to get a jump on Cheever? PK down the main straight. Cheever rejoining. PK's ahead of him. He's done it. Finally, that Lotus is out of traffic and ahead. Solo Train Spotter, hello. It's going to be hard to remember people's names when they change their names. So apologies in advance if I just call you Shed. I'll try to remember though. I'd still say the top... Oh, Herbert's off the track. He's made a mistake there. Shall we get a little replay of that? It's been a while since we've had a look at the replays. Oh, hello. There we go. What part of the circuit did he make a mistake at? I think it might be the first corner. It's down into the first corner. He sent it on the inside of Capelli. Locked up, went wide. So it's only a little mistake. It's a rookie mistake, obviously. This is not for position, though. He's just lapping the march. Hello, Fur. Good morning. Provided it is still morning where you are. I think you're an hour ahead, so it should be 10:59. Senna pulling away from Prost a little bit on this stint. And Prost's still making his way through the last bit of traffic, whoever that is. It's Olivier Grillard. And Prost has made it through. So there is now no car between the two McLarens. And they have a good chunk of distance before they come up to Derek Warwick in 9th place. So if Prost wants to make any inroads in that gap, now is the time. Oh, we did finish the race. Oh, he must have started in the spare car. Interesting. Fernando Alonso career on a heavily modded F1 2020. Very nice. What sort of mods are we talking about? Everybody driving as Thomas the Tank Engine. Or Thomas and Friends. You can't forget all the others like Percy, Gordon, James. James was my favourite, of course, because my name's James. I used to have socks with... James on them. Not classified after we finished 9 laps down. Wow. The pace difference between cars back in the day. Incredible. You're going to York on Saturday. Have you been before? Train Museum is good there. Very good. I feel like it used to be better. They've changed it recently. So I went maybe a couple months ago. Still, it's good. It's a museum that's free entry. Which is getting rarer and rarer, I feel like. So Herbert's 6th after his pit stop. Nannini's box now, so he's 7th. I don't think anybody's on a 1-stop. I think everybody's on at least a 2-stop. How recently was the station hall open? I think it was open when I was there. Gasha massively slowing down to let the Ferrari through. Oh, Johansson off. Oh, and could this spell the end of Johansson's career in Formula 1? A 7th straight retirement. Frustrations boiling over at Onyx now, surely. And that's a puncture that sets him out of the race. Oh, it only just reopened. Okay, right, I see. And Gasho's got a throttle problem, so he's going to bring the car into the pits. It's a double blow for Onyx. I think Gasho will be okay to carry on if he gets that replaced or repaired. Sorry, not replaced. He's not going to replace the throttle, is he? Steamtown. That sounds cool. Yeah, there was This heritage line somewhere near me. I don't think they do it anymore. Can't even remember what line it was. Great Central Railway, I think. And at the end of one of the lines, they have a restoration. Don't know what you call it, like a hangar or shed. I suppose it's a shed, isn't it? Where you can go in and see what they're restoring and all that. But now it's closed off. You can't get there. Scranton. The only thing I know about Scranton is the Office. The show The Office had an office in Scranton. Which country do I live in? The UK. England. I thought you said I thought you said country. I was like, surely you know that. County, I'm in Nottinghamshire. I'm a Nottingham lad. But yeah, I think it's the Great Central Railway between Loughborough and Quorn Station. They've got a heritage line there. Like, the line's still open. You can still ride steam trains back and forth. I know nothing about trains. It's never something I've got into. It's one of those that if I was a child, maybe I should have been into trains because I was massively into Thomas the Tank Engine. It just never went on from there. But it's just one of those things. It's sort of a lottery pick. Maybe as a child I would have gone and latched onto trains, but instead I latched onto Formula 1. And now I'd have no idea how to even get into a new hobby or interest. I don't even know where I'd start. I've had it before where I've just randomly become obsessed with a new sport. So I know quite a lot about boxing because I had like 2 years solid of being a massive boxing fan. I know quite a lot about tennis. So I had a couple of years of just being a massive tennis fan. Thank God all the evidence of that important feat is completely erased. Something tells me that is sarcasm? You need to be accepted by the people in that hobby. Oh, no, I don't think that's the case. I think you can get into a hobby just on your own. Most of the overtakes we're seeing on track now, it's just back markers getting lapped. Let's put it on interval so we can see how close people are to each other. Closest battle, we have Herbert a second behind Patrese. Donnelly's close to a lazy. That's the battle we see on screen, but there's a car between them. And apart from that, nobody else is really close to each other. So the top 8 are still on the lead lap. Warwick, 9th place downwards, all a lap or more down. And we're not even at half race distance. By the end of this race, we could see maybe only the top 5 on the lead lap. No, top 4. That is pretty much half race distance now, though. About 40 out of 81. Arnaud, that's a failure there for Arnaud. And it's another French driver. His final ever home Grand Prix in Formula 1, René Arnaud. And it's over. It is over. I'll tell you why I kept saying Johansson had wins. It's because I was getting him confused with Arnaud. Only because they were teammates at Ligier. So I got them mixed up. Both old drivers by this point. It's a transmission issue that sees the Ligier out. So what do we have left for the French crowd to cheer? Prost. Boutsen, kind of. A lazy, of course. First ever home Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure Gachot's Belgian. Grillard, French. Is that Herbert? That's for position for Herbert. He's up the inside of Patrese. Brilliant overtake there by the young British driver. And Johnny Herbert now running inside the top 5. He's already had 2 top 5 results this year. He could be looking at a third. He said lap 37, the Ligier would die. You're counting that? Yeah, I'd count that. That would have been lap 39 for him. Or lap 38, sorry. Because he was 2 laps down. So you were very, very close. He may have only just gone on to lap 37. No, lap 38, sorry. I say sorry like I'm actually apologising. I'm sorry, guys, I got it wrong. Gasho's nationality is kind of a rabbit hole. Yeah. I knew it was one of them that, like, one represented Belgium and then represented France and then switched back or something along those lines. I'd imagine it's all for sponsorship reasons or financial reasons or political reasons. Not just for the fun of it. Is it Bertrand or Bertrand? Bertrand Baguette. Bertrand Baguette. Nice. Good name. Not quite as good as Dick Trickle. Even like Giancarlo Baghetti's quite a funny name, in my opinion. Le Mans, he just had the European flag on his car. Really? He was just really into the EU. Okay. That's interesting. That is interesting. I mean, increasingly nowadays, you get people feeling like they don't represent a country, which is completely fair. I mean, it's only a location, isn't it, at the end of the day? Like, I feel like if I had it my way, I don't think I'd represent a country. I'm just James, you know? I don't want to really represent anything but myself. The United Kingdom of Jamesland. Yeah. But it's pretty much impossible to own land here, though. When I was reading up on it, I wasn't aware that you don't buy a house to own it. You buy a lease to a house for 100 or 1,000 years. You don't actually own the land. You can't own the land because it's a land within a country. If I owned the land, then I could create my own country because it's my land. But that's not how it works, unfortunately. His father works for the EU. Senna leads Prost by 5.5 seconds. They've lapped Gerhard Berger in 8th place. Rammstein. I've heard a bit of Rammstein. Not really my sort of music. It doesn't really have any good flow to it. At least the ones I've heard. What does EEC stand for? European Economic something. European Economic Centre? European Economic something. Community. European Economic Community. That's nice. Oh, community. I'm a Swiftie, I can tell. No. My most listened to bands of the year is probably... Number one's probably 3 Days Grace. Linkin Park's up there. I listened to quite a bit of Breaking Benjamin this year. So it's sort of like rock, new metal sort of vibe. Indie rock as well. Alternative rock. Breaking Benjamin is from your city. Oh my gosh! We've got absolutely nothing happening in this race right now. I'd be a terrible commentator. Sorry guys, we may as well just turn off 1X. It's a fantastic album. It is, it is. Almost all the tracks on it are strong, apart from maybe 2 of the last 3. They get a little bit weaker as the tracks go. Oh, it's Senna! Senna's off! From the lead of the race, he's retired again! Oh, dearie me, Ayrton Senna out with a transmission issue. Just as I put a commentator's curse on the race saying nothing was going on. And he's out from the lead of the race. That is Senna's 5th retirement of the season. Well, if those rumours of him talking to Ferrari were only rumours, they're definitely going to be more than that after this race. Surely Williams would happily take Senna if it was offered to them. He's been levitated, yeah. The F1 movie soundtrack is only £10.97 in Asda. What a waste of money. I almost swore there. What a massive waste of money that would be. I do like 1X though. Good album. I've listened to that many, many times. It starts so strongly as well. Like the first 7 tracks are just banger after banger. Damn, I might listen to it after this stream. Prost is sabotaging his car. Well, we now have Alain Prost leading his home Grand Prix. Thierry Boutsen second. Nigel Mansell in 3rd place. One more retirement out of the top 3. Johnny Herbert could be on course to score his first podium in Formula 1. Which will be really nice to see, I think. I think we're seeing a star born with Herbert. He's had such a great start to his career. 8th place in the championship, 8 points in 6 races. I've not heard a title fight. The only title fight I know of is Patrese versus Mansell versus Prost versus Senna versus Berger versus Boutsen. If Senna leaves, does that mean the Prost McLaren dynasty comes? Oh, off! Who's that? That's Alazy. Alazy, and it's a French driver now, retiring exactly where Ayrton Senna did on the previous lap. Yes, Prost would remain at McLaren. This is what I like, though. At least then we're changing things from real life. Things will actually start shifting. Big shifts as well, because that'll be a knock-on effect for years to come. You know, if Senna went to Williams in 1990 or to Ferrari, and then Prost remained at McLaren for how many years? Oh no, what is my computer loading? You can see on the cursor. We've got a spinning wheel of death. Okay, it's disappeared now. Usually when that happens, it's like Windows Defender scanning my computer at the most inopportune time. Maybe there's a power field frigging their gearbox. Oh, my gearbox has been friggin'? Would that be the right word? Frigged? You got into your Corsa car, that's great. Fantastic news. I've officially finished with education now, I'm done. So, yeah. Looking for a permanent job right now. I've been doing freelance stuff, of course. And working on my YouTube channel, which does bring in a decent amount of income. In all honesty. But we're looking for something, you know, a bit more permanent. Could we see alternative season calendars? Most definitely, yeah. Well, Herbert completely sending it into the chicane. A little mistake there. He's in 3rd place now. Did Mansell box? I wasn't actually paying attention. I'm sorry, guys. I assume Mansell must have boxed. So right now, Johnny Herbert is in 3rd place. He's only a few seconds ahead of Nigel Mansell. How good of a PC do you need for this game? Not a good PC at all. It's a game that's 29 years old. So you can use a pretty bad one and run this game well. Hi, Benny. Focus on your exam. The Birmingham Grand Prix actually happened, yeah. We do the Birmingham Grand Prix and host F3000 at the same time. Gravedigger is a permanent job. It's quite morbid, but yeah. I don't think I'll be cut out for a job like that. I think you made a little mistake, Prost. It wasn't a big one. What am I educated in? Well, we've been to various universities and studied various things, starting with business management and marketing, film and television production, working in the screen industries. But that's not what I want to do. I've no interest in that. You could say a massive waste of money, education. I wouldn't say so. I'd say it was more, I wouldn't have come to the conclusion that I have now without doing that, so. You're 27, you're considering going back to university because you never completed due to COVID. Go for it, why not? Bootson only 13.5 off, so yeah, if Prost continues to drop the ball, Bootson could be in the running for the victory today. Bootson yet to win this season. You're 29 when you graduated from university, so there's always time. There is. I mean, the adage is life is short, but it's still, yeah, like the other adage is, it's still going to be the longest thing you ever do, so. You're paying $1,800 every 3 months to live in Bristol to attend university online. Yeah, that's rubbish. I don't like the online stuff. It's my first year at one of my universities. I say one of my universities. I've been to 3 universities. You'd think I'd love education. I don't like education. But it was just the path I took, I suppose. I feel like it would be okay if I found something I truly, truly enjoyed. I'm just yet to find that still. Studying law over Teams. It reminds me of the clips of like court hearings done over Teams, and things just keep going wrong, and like people keep joining the Teams call by mistake, and yeah, kind of funny. A filter of a cat in a court hearing. Yeah, just stuff like that is quite funny. Making 1980s F1 fanfiction isn't a career path, really. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Saying that, though, if it was my job, I couldn't do it. I could not do this full time. I'd get so bored. I don't mind doing it, like, YouTube, at least, part-time. That's fine. Is there mods for this, like, 2025? Yes, as far as I'm aware, there's mods for every season apart from 2021, as far as I'm aware. You can pretty much get any season in Formula 1. So Herbert's been passed by Mansell now. That was on track, we just didn't see it. So Mansell third, Herbert 5 seconds behind in fourth, and he's being closed down by Nannini, it seems. Like, what I might end up doing for the foreseeable, until I figure out something permanent. It's just... I'll just get a random job. Maybe I'll have to go back to working for a supermarket or something. There's a bit of a, like a... What's the word for it? Stigma? Is that the word? About that, though? You know, I used to work in supermarkets when I was a student. And it feels like, oh, okay, that's just something you do when you're a student, and then never again. But I don't think it works that way. It doesn't matter. A job's a job at the end of the day, isn't it? I think the most important thing is just, for me at least, having an enjoyable life. And having the means to enjoy it, you know? At least that's what's important to me. The probation... What is the probation service? Something to do with probation. if I had to hazard a guess. All education paths inevitably lead back to Tesco's, yeah. I worked at Tesco. Oh, civil servant. Yeah, you did say, yeah. Oh, Palmer's out. That's 2 Tyrrells out of the race. It's always quite scary when the game just goes silent when somebody retires. He decides to face the crowd and hit the barrier for good measure. The engineer... Oh, no, he's hitting it again. The engineers aren't going to be too happy with him. Just smashing up the car for no apparent reason. So we now see Stefano Modena 12th, Donnelly 11th, behind the 2 Arrows drivers. Who retired? That was... Who was that? It was Jonathan Palmer, who is still being pushed away. Palmer throws the steering wheel at a fan's head in anger. You can move wheels in GP2 whilst being lifted by the marshals. Sounds dangerous. We should give it a go. Okay. Well, that's bugged. Palmer's just... They're just going to keep showing that for the rest of the race now, I think. Cheever and Donnelly in the pits. For the second time and final time in the race. I really want to see Herbert get a podium. Right, if we have to sacrifice either Prost, Boutsen or Mansell, who would you guys pick? I think I'd go for... Probably go for Prost, actually. How's Bernbeck's legs doing? Well, he's back home recovering in Germany with his family. So he's on the mend, but he's still far away from it being strong enough or well enough to push a brake pedal. We're looking at the earliest return being maybe around 14 of the season. That's what I've got penciled in on the Excel document. I have no brakes, no tyres. We're out of the points. GP2 engine. And that is race leader Prost in. Will we see Boutsen stay out? Pretty sure Boutsen also is on a 2-stop strategy. I see somebody going into the pits. That might be Boutsen. It is. Okay, the top 2 have boxed. And we look at Palmer again to get a little update on what the marshals are doing. So how many drivers do we have left? 16 left in the race. So that is 10 out of the race. I do quite like the random update to see what's happening with Palmer's car. Johnny Herbert in for his final stop. So that allows Nannini through. Now, will he rejoin before Patrese goes through? That's going to be a close call. It's Patrese going around the final corner now, whilst Herbert is just about moving away from his pit box. So you can see it in the top right on the mini-map. But this is crucial for his race. He is out. Patrese storming down the main straight, looks to the inside and overtakes with warm tyres. Similar levels of fuel though, but Herbert will have fresher tyres and can surely fight this one back as we progress into the final quarter of this race. Yeah, Senna is out again from the lead of the race as well. Again. Boutsen lost 2 seconds. Yeah, 18.7 now. I think Prost has got this one wrapped up. It'll be his second victory of the season. And, very importantly, it'll be a home Grand Prix victory. Depending on where Patrese finishes in this, Prost could actually take the championship lead after this round. Right now, Prost is 6 points behind Patrese. As it stands, he'll be taking the lead away because Patrese scoring 2, Prost scoring 9. So he will take the lead. Porcard looks a bit more sandy than you remember it. This is what it was like back in the day. Sand. Or is it supposed to be gravel? Maybe it's gravel. Yeah, I think right now, as it stands, Patrese will be... Oh, Mansell spun! Oh my, I thought he was driving the wrong way then. Oh my gosh. I thought that was the first corner he decided to drive backwards. Oh, dearie me. Oh my gosh. Let me see what happened there. Oh, we can't see. I think he must have just spun. And he had to wait a long time to get the car back round again. So if Mansell has to pit again... He doesn't. He only pit on a few laps ago, didn't he? So he... Oh, that's Capelli. Stopped at the final corner. And he is out with a transmission issue. A lot of transmission issues today. Where can you find the game and the 2025 mod? I can't actually remember where I got the game from, but if you go on grandprix2.de, that's the website with all the mods. Like the cars, the tracks, car sets, the car models as well. How did I die? Andre, we haven't been racing. We were... Burnback is out injured. He's been out injured for about 4 races now. 3 races, I think. Oh, the forums have the mods for 2020 onwards. Ah, okay. Where is MB? What, Mohammed Ben Suleiman? Oh no, Martin Brundle. He's out. He retired earlier. That happened with the F1 Challenge forum as well, the Wookiee forum. What I think it's called Wookiee forum or Wookiee something. The owner lost the password or it just hasn't been seen for about 5 years, so nobody can create a new account. Which is so silly, isn't it? But these things can happen. Sound like a Star Wars forum. The name would indicate that. It's spelled differently though. Star Wars Formula 1 crossover. Red Bull at the 2005 not United States, Monaco Grand Prix. For the release of, in my opinion, the best Star Wars movie, Episode 3 of Revenge of the Sith. Chewbacca would be Mansell's wife, according to PK. According to PK, the world would look quite different. Prost 20 seconds clear of Boutsen with less than 20 laps to go now. We're on lap 63 out of 81. Mansell and Herbert are two British boys in third and fourth. Then Nannini and Patrese, the two Italians, completing the points scorers as it stands. Berger's not having a good race. He's down in 7th place. I don't think nostalgia works in weird ways, though, doesn't it? I don't know. Watching it without rose-tinted... Like, I watch the movies now and appreciate them for what they are. Like, episode 1, I think, is not as bad as people remember it being. Episode 2 is quite poor. But episode 3 just ticks all the boxes for me for what makes an epic Star Wars movie. But maybe that is nostalgia playing its part. Like, huge scale battles, cutting edge CGI and animation effects at the time. And that still hold up a lot of the time now as well. Revolutionary with the blue screen that they used at the time as well. Incredible lightsaber duels. I like the story. I know it was executed poorly with bad dialogue from time to time. But the story itself is really strong. Like, it's justified in a lot of ways. So watching episode 3 back without the nostalgia factor, or trying to avoid the nostalgia factor, it's still a really strong movie. The only thing that lets it down is terrible dialogue. And the pacing is off at parts. Music, fantastic. Really good score. You never watched Star Wars. Or Star Wars either. It's one of those things. I grew up with it, so I've seen them. I think I saw 4, 5, and 6 before I saw 1, 2, and 3. 4 I really like. 5 is, yes, very, very, very good. 6 is slightly less good. But I really like the story and the character. The character development and the way they interact with each other. It feels very natural. It's very good. It is very dated now, though. Oh, the Cerveza Crystal, yeah. That's great. I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, and it gets everywhere. You're not a big movie watcher. I didn't used to be, but I am now. I've watched... How many have I watched this season? This year, I think I've watched about 109 movies this year. Is Internet Archive safe? Depends what you're doing on it. I don't use it. Cerveza Cristal. Hiya, Ben. How's it going? Letterboxd early. You can follow me on Letterboxd. The James Early on Letterboxd. I post my ratings and reviews for every movie I watch. Basically a movie a day. Yeah, I probably watch about 4 or 5 on average a week. I just enjoy, yeah. But I'm a top 5 at the moment. For movies, I don't know, it changes a lot. If you look on my Letterboxd, it's got my 4 favourite movies of all time, which maybe aren't really my favourite movies of all time, but it's the ones I enjoy a lot. So on that list we have the first Back to the Future, we have Ferris Bueller's Day Off, we have Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and we have Blade Runner 2049. You know, I never got into Red Dead Redemption 2. I've heard that the story is very good. My brother and my sister both tell me that it's a very good game. No! Prost! You can't make this up! It's a double McLaren DNF from the lead of the race both times at the same point of the circuit. And Prost, disaster here at his home Grand Prix. The home crowd falls silent as their hero pulls off to the side of the circuit. It's going to be no points for McLaren. And it's going to be Thierry Boutsen inheriting the race lead. And it will mean Johnny Herbert with about 14 laps to go, is going to run inside the podium places. So, for the second time this season, McLaren have a double DNF. I have no idea what's wrong with them. Their reliability is actually quite good. So I don't know why they're that bad. They keep retiring. I imagine it will even itself out over a whole season, but right now they're having such a rough time of things. Boutsen with 9 points to his name right now would move up to 26. His teammate Prix would be on 26, and Mansell would be on 26 after this race. If things stay like this, it'll be 3 drivers at the top, all with the same amount of points. It's too hot, yeah. It could be the heat here. The heat of the desert. It looks like a desert. The heat of the desert of Le Castellet. Herbert, 3rd place. Incredible. Incredible to see. Well, that's the great thing about maybe Grand Prix 2, or just races at the time. A lot of the time, not much is going out on track or going on with overtakes or whatnot. But the poor reliability means there's always going to be shock factor and a twist around the corner, you know? Nannini versus Herbert for the final podium place. As Patrese gets lapped by his teammate Boutsen. Right, okay. It's not looking good for the championship leader right now, Riccardo Patrese, is it? 5th place. But yeah, Herbert versus Nannini to determine the final podium place. Nannini is fighting for his seat in the team after a terrible start to the year. Okay, Ben, no problem. I've got a decent amount of experience with F1 Championship Edition now. So I have done quite a few races on it. Whether that's on stream or off stream. Running custom setups now, which is a big help. Extremely lucky getting Magny-Cours. Yeah, I was saying on the stream that it was originally going to be a video series, and I had to do 11 tests because I just kept getting Silverstone and Barcelona. I do not know that movie, Andre. At least I don't think I do. I don't watch any international, hardly any international movies. I've watched a few. When I say international, I mean non-English movies. Because I'm in English, you know. So, is there any more twists in the tail of this race? Or are we going to have a smooth sailing final 11 laps? You watched a few Jackie Chan movies as a kid. That's cool. I watched the most basic of, like... It's not anime. What would you call it? Like Studio Ghibli. Like, I've watched the most basic of films of those. Like, Spirited Away or whatever the other one is. Howl's Moving Castle I saw in school. When I was at University of Nottingham, I was part of a society called Dark Celluloid, which would often show international films, so I watched a couple through that. The goat that blocked you on Instagram. Twitter, okay. But it's called X now, actually, so, yeah. This is the battle that we've been talking about. Oh, it's not on the screen anymore, but Herbert and Nannini. Dark Celluloid is the worst name ever, yeah. It was just known as Dark Cell. I only joined in about March, so I went to about 4 of their screenings, and then that was it. Saw a couple of good movies. There was one called Harvest Moon, which was really good. It was not an international film. It's an American film, a Hollywood film from about... Oh, I don't know when it was. Maybe the early 1960s, I think. Good movie. I think it was called Harvest Moon or something Moon. Paper Moon, that's it. Paper Moon. Not Harvest Moon. I think Harvest Moon is like a... What is that? I've heard of that before. Dark Celluloid Society sounds like an Illuminati competitor. Yeah, it was quite underground though. Oh, what the heck just happened there to Mansell? Just the moving of the suspension over the bumps here. What is... Where have I heard that before? Maybe it's a game. I think that might be a game. In fact, all the societies I was part of had funny names. Dark Celluloid, which is quite funny, and I was part of the Rock Society, which is about rock music and not rocks. So it was just called Rock Sock. Danini is 1.5 behind Herbert. This is getting close. They've got a Minardi in the way at turn 1, I think. Yeah, they have. Pierluigi Martini in the way. Right. Let's manually watch this battle. See if it gets closer as the laps progress. I want to see Herbert on the podium. I don't really care about Alessandro Nannini, if I'm being honest. Don't Be a Menace to South Central Whilst Drinking Juice in the Hood is a great movie. I've never heard of that. My girlfriend's written out this list of probably about 40 either autumnal / Halloween themed movies or horror movies. So we're working our way through that list right now. I cannot watch horror movies. I get too scared. Even the slightest bit of horror, and I have a very active imagination. So I watched The Sixth Sense last week. And I kid you not, like The Sixth Sense, if you've watched it, it's not that scary. Like there's a few scary scenes in it, but to me it's terrifying. So for 3 nights straight, I could not switch the light off sleeping. I couldn't do it. Call me a wimp if you want. I don't care. But my imagination's so like, I'm convinced I'm going to see something, or you know, I'm being haunted or something. I can't escape that. I know it's irrational. I'm fully aware it is irrational. It's only sort of stuff about ghosts. If it's about like monsters or anything like that, I don't care about that. That doesn't scare me at all. But it's about ghosts or hauntings or stuff like that, because that to me is almost conceivably real. But like stuff like monsters or aliens or what, bro, I don't care about that. Like, you bought Alien only to be able to not be able to play it, yeah. The Conjuring is a great horror movie. Yeah, that's on the list. I don't know if I'll be ever watching that. Probably not. French racing version of James Bond. To me, Valent is the name of a company that does boilers and heating. At least in the UK, it's a company. Bride of Chucky. It's god awful. Okay. I'm sure a few of you have played the game Skyrim. When I was a kid, the Skyrim came out. I got it for Christmas that year, so 2011. And I was so scared of one of the first missions where you have to go up to Bleak Falls Barrow. And there's these, it's like essentially like a cave system. Inside, you wake up the dead and they start fighting you. And I was so terrified of that I could not play through that mission for months on end. I'd do everything else in the game but the main quests. I could not do that. Anything where you had to fight, they're called like the Drugger or the Draugr or something. Like the undead, basically. Couldn't do it. The only way I could do it is by recruiting a companion in a nearby village and bringing him with me to the cave so I wasn't alone. So I did that. Got this guy called Sven. So it was Sven and James fighting through all these undead. I could barely do this. You know, I was shaking. Essentially tearing up. I'm crying at this point. And Sven gets killed by one of the traps in the dungeon, and I'm left on my own in the middle of the dungeon. I just quit the game. I didn't play it for about 2 years after that. I was so scared. GoldenEye. You know, I don't think maybe I have seen it once. Many, many years ago. Right, the battle that we're seeing on screen, 5 laps to go, is between Herbert and Nannini. Gap is 1.1 seconds. Nannini will be desperate to get this result, but so will Johnny Herbert. He'll be itching to get his first podium over and done with. The pressure must be immense right now for the young British driver, who I believe at the time is about 24, 25 years old. No, I think he'll be a bit younger. Maybe 23, 24? Help Sven out, yeah. Sven is a wood elf that's found in Riverwood, the town or the village. Got traumatized by the Paranormal Activity trailer. I used to get traumatized by, there was this video on YouTube back in about 2006, 2007, and it was titled Ghost Car. And it's this car just coming down in a nice sunny day down this valley, like winding road, and then at the end this like face jumps out at you. It's very scary at the time. Recruiting the weird bard. He was a bit weird, yeah. Oh, no, Sven's the human, isn't he? Feindol's the wood elf, yeah. Herbert would be racing with somewhat broken legs. In this universe, Herbert didn't have his crash. Andre. Watch horror movies that don't traumatize you. That would be preferable. Well, we only chose The Sixth Sense because it's not actually that... It's not a horror movie. It's a little bit scary. But it terrified me, man. God. The fact that the kid can just see ghosts just in his own house that used to be there. Oh, man. I don't like it. I hate it. I've got chills thinking about it now. Ghosts do not do it for you. They do it for me. Big time. You remember that video, yeah. It was quite popular. I think Herbert's got this in the bag, as long as he doesn't make a mistake. Yeah, I can't play horror games. I can watch people play them. I can't play them myself. Horror games I'm fine with, even if it's ghosts, because it's a game. Like, the graphics aren't hyper realistic, are they? But watching a movie that looks realistic then makes it harder for me to think, oh, it's not real. Because I'm so immersed in it. I guess that's the whole point. It's supposed to be scary, isn't it? It's just not... I don't think it's supposed to have a lasting effect. You can't watch Psycho ones, yeah. Okay. Yeah, ghost ones aren't for me. I could watch other ones. Anything with like lots of gore in, that's completely fine. I don't care about that. Resident Evil 7 in VR was the first time you could not play it. Oh, yeah, VR would... Oh, that'd be a scary experience. Like, it's kind of creepy. The bedroom I have now, people have died in that bedroom in the past. So when I'm lying awake at night and it's pitch black, and I can look down into the corner of the room, it does freak me out if I think about it. Oh, Herbert mistake! A mistake from Herbert! That's allowed Nannini right on the back of him. 2 laps to go. The battle is raging on here between the two Benettons. That could be a crucial mistake that I think Nannini, if he stays close enough, could have a run down the Mistral straight here. Do I know it for a fact? Yes. We don't want to watch this battle. We want to watch Herbert and Nannini. What a terrible camera angle. There we go. Where art thou, thy James? I'm here. Hello. This is it. This could be the run. Is Nannini close enough? The slipstream is helping a little bit, but he's fighting against his teammate here in equal-powered machinery. Did you know Nico Rosberg beat Lewis Hamilton in equal machinery in 2016? We need colourful F1 cars back. Yeah. Some of them are colourful on the grid these days. I feel like it's just hard to see with so much going on the cars. People died in the kitchen of your old house and you don't think they ever cleaned up the blood because there was another layer of floor slapped on top of the other. That's horrible. No, the person who died it was just old age. Just an old woman who died. Oh, that was the checkered flag. Across the line we go. Boutsen has won. Mansell second. Herbert holds on to third place with Nannini in fourth. Thierry Boutsen has done it. No, never mind. Thierry Boutsen has done it now. Boutsen's just won the race. Herbert and Nannini are now on the final lap. Sorry about that. This is the final lap of the race. The last chance for Nannini. It was a bit confusing there. We're getting the checkered flag waved, even though the leader hadn't crossed the line. Is that Boutsen's first victory in Formula 1? The guy who died got beat by a baseball bat at a party. Yeah. If people are haunted, that's going to be haunted. Somebody who died angry or sad. You know. Kimi Räikkönen once almost bankrupted Lotus. Yeah, I know about that. Johnny be good. And now across the line, Herbert, for the first time in his career, gets a third place finish, just ahead of Alessandro Nannini. There we go. Herbert did it. Would that be enough for Nannini to keep his seat? Maybe at least for another race. Only 4 drivers finishing on the lead lap, with Thierry Boutsen claiming victory here today. 41 seconds clear of Nigel Mansell. Riccardo Patrese in 5th place means he will hold on to the championship lead. He'll be on 27 points with Boutsen and Mansell on 26. Tea with the Ghost Lady every Sunday. Yeah, but what happens if we miss one of those Sundays for? You don't want to find out what happens. Herbert 3rd. Fantastic result. Nannini in 4th. Then it's Patrese. Berger scoring a point, but he's a lap down. And Patrese got lapped by his teammate, so a really poor result for him. PK missing out on points, so did Warwick, Chiva and Donnelly completing the top 10. Stefano Modena 11th, which is his second best result of the season. He got a 9th place finish in the United States Grand Prix, I believe. Yes, he did. Then we have Pierluigi Martini, Bertrand Gachot, Olivier Grillard. And that was the final driver finishing the race. A lot of gearbox problems today. Huge names out of the race, such as Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna. René Arnoux final ever French Grand Prix, home Grand Prix, over and done with. Stefan Johansson's 7th retirement in the race. Maybe that'll be the last time we see Johansson in Onyx, at least. Maybe the last time we see him on the grid. And Martin Brundle, his 2nd retirement in a row. And Christian Danner also retiring for the first time this year from a Grand Prix. Who would Benetton go for if Nannini got dropped? Manuel Pirot? I feel like Pirot was in the running. I think I might have put Pirot down as their official reserve driver, so probably yes. It's almost certain that Modena gets kept on for the rest of the year and Bernbach's kicked out, even if he's back to his racing self. Best laps, Ayrton Senna got the fastest lap, just faster than Alain Prost. Boutsen, the race winner, he got 3rd fastest lap. Christian Danner was 5.8 seconds off. Pretty extreme. Although I think that was kind of similar to how far he was off in qualifying, so not too bad. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was fun. I'll be streaming on my main channel in about 3 hours. I'm playing some F1 Championship Edition, so if you want to check that out, then feel free to do so. Apart from that, make sure to give the live stream a thumbs up. And I'll see you all in the next race, which will be the British Grand Prix. Which will be quite exciting as well. I think from now on, when I do live stream these, they'll be at the same time, 9 a.m. for me. I quite like doing a morning stream. It's quite fun. Right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.